So I guess this is more of a confession than anything else. Maybe even a eulogy for the life I used to live. I don't know if anyone will read this, but I'm going to tell the whole story. Not because I need sympathy, just clarity. And maybe someone out there needs to hear it. They used to call me the rock of the family. Reliable, grounded, always there. What they didn't say, at least not to my face, was that I was also the doormat, the emotional sponge, the emergency fund with a heartbeat. I'm 38 now, oldest of three. I live in a compact but efficient apartment above the co-working space I rent for my startup. But rewind a few months, and it was a very different story. That night, I wired $800 to my sister Melissa for the third time that year. Credit card debt, she said. Emergency. I didn't even question it anymore. I just typed the numbers in, clicked send, and returned to the spreadsheet I was updating. My own bills were waiting too. Rent, taxes, equipment. But family came first, right? That's what I was raised to believe. I've paid Uncle Ray's medical bills, funded my brother Jason's startup that never launched past a flashy logo, took in Grandma Rosa when she had nowhere to go because no one else had space. My parents, Helen and David, would tell their friends what a good son I was. Kevin handles everything, my mom liked to say. But never to me. Never a thank you. Just the next thing, the next emergency, the next wait. By my mid-30s, I was drowning in everyone's crises. Emotionally muted, financially depleted. Still, I kept going. Because love meant sacrifice. And I'd convinced myself I was being noble, selfless, strong. It was a startup mixer, of all places, that cracked the fog around me. I went because a coworker bailed and left me with a free ticket. I was half asleep, sipping bad wine, when I saw her, Farah. We'd gone to university together, environmental engineering, back when I still had ideas and passion and believed I might build something that mattered. She remembered me, not just my name, but my old project, the biodegradable battery units for low-resource communities. She asked, "You still sketch those?" I laughed, said no. But that night, I dug through an old folder and found them. Yellowed printouts, doodles on grid paper, and I sat there at my kitchen table until 3 a.m., heart racing, thinking, what if I tried? I told them at dinner, the whole family. We were at my parents' place, eating the usual overcooked pasta and sitting in stiff silence between passive-aggressive jabs. "I'm starting something," I said. "A green tech startup. I'm pulling back from some financial support for a while, just to give it a real shot." The silence was immediate. Then Melissa laughed. "A midlife crisis. Seriously?" Jason leaned back in his chair. "So you're gonna be rich now, huh? Just don't forget who had your back when you were nothing." Helen clutched her gold chain. "Family first, Kevin, always." Then came the requests. Cousin Tyler's tuition, a $10,000 loan to fix Dad's garage, Jason's latest bank issue. I said no. 3 letters, 1 syllable, but it felt like lifting 1,000 bricks off my chest. I knew saying no was going to shake things up, but I didn't expect this level of chaos. Almost immediately after I told them I wasn't their financial safety net anymore, my phone blew up. I mean, blew up. I stopped counting after the first 50 missed calls and endless barrage of texts. Dad's voicemail was the first, thick with disappointment and disbelief. "Kevin, son, you're turning your back on your family. You don't just walk away from your responsibilities like this." Then Melissa's messages started flooding in,
alternating between tears and anger. "You've changed, Kevin. You used to care. What happened to you? I can't believe you do this to me. We're family." Mom was colder, but the venom was there, carefully wrapped in cultural obligation. "You're breaking this family apart. Duty means everything, Kevin. You owe us." Jason, meanwhile, slipped in guilt trips like they were gifts. "Remember when I helped you through your first job? Who bailed you out then? You think we enjoy asking? We don't want to be a burden." Except that's exactly what they were doing. I felt my chest tighten every time the phone buzzed. Their words weren't just requests, they were accusations, like I'd betrayed them for wanting something for myself. I tried explaining once, in a long text, that I was burned out, that I needed space to breathe and build my own future. But it got twisted into selfishness and abandonment. I was the bad guy. So I blocked their numbers. Every last one. No calls, no texts, no emails. Silence. For the first time in years, I stopped being their lifeline. The house felt emptier than my own apartment, but at least it was quiet. The days blurred, instant noodles, used furniture, late nights sketching battery units, tweaking power loads. I made mistakes, so many. Burned a circuit, fried my laptop. Spent a whole week spiraling because I thought the idea was stupid. But Farah stayed. She joined as a partner, brought capital, structure, vision. She never asked about my family, never pushed, just worked beside me, steady and calm. The night our first prototype worked, a fully biodegradable unit with low energy loss, I just sat there staring at it, then laughed, then cried, alone, in a tiny rented space. And I felt more alive than I had in years. Months passed. Green Cell started getting attention. Small grants, press interest, a TEDx invite. It was early still, but I was proud. Then the calls came back. Jason lost his car. Melissa was evicted. My parents were behind on their mortgage. The voicemails were different this time. "Son, we miss you." "Kev, I was wrong. I get it now. Come by for dinner. Let's talk." I wanted to believe them. I really did. I asked Farah what she thought. She just said, "What do you want, Kevin?"
I visited for Christmas. Brought gifts and sweets. Wired $1,000 to help with their mortgage. No strings. At first, it was nice. Familiar, in a comforting way. Melissa hugged me. Jason clapped my back. Helen made my favorite cookies, the way she used to when I was a kid. We didn't talk about money, just memories. Childhood stuff. Dad even smiled. But something felt off. Like they were waiting for the right moment. At a cousin's wedding, Melissa joked in front of everyone that I'd sold my soul to capitalism. People laughed. I didn't. Then I heard from my cousin, Anika, that my mom called Green Cell a vanity project. Jason cornered me a few days later, all charm and concern. He needed $25,000, not as a gift, just a cosign for a loan. Short term, safe. You've forgiven us, right? I looked at him. Really looked. And I saw the same Jason. The same manipulations. Wrapped in softer words. "I didn't forgive you to be used again," I said. Then I walked out. I didn't cry on the drive home. I deleted every message, blocked every number. Again. But this time there was no trembling, no guilt, just peace. I took the family photo off my desk, one I'd kept since I was 25, everyone smiling in a fake posed way. I replaced it with a mock-up of our patent draft, framed it, hung it by my desk. I wrote a short email. This time, I choose me. Please don't reach out. Kevin.
When I finally hit the button to delete every contact and block them again, this time it was different. No tears, no shaking hands, just a calm resolve. But the fallout? It was like dropping a bomb. Mom sent a group message to all relatives calling me the lost son, accusing me of disrespect and ingratitude. Her words spread like wildfire through family gatherings. Dad didn't reach out again, but I heard from cousins that he told friends I was too proud and too selfish to understand what family means. Melissa went nuclear on social media, posting vague, bitter comments about family loyalty and what happens when you think you're better than your roots. Jason tried calling once more, voicemail filled with desperation and promises of change. I didn't respond. The worst was the whispers. At every family function I missed, there were murmurs about how Kevin let the money go to his head, or how I was playing the victim. But honestly, I stopped caring. I'd given them years of myself, always second-guessing if I was enough. I'd been their bank, their emotional punching bag, their caretaker. And when I finally chose me, they labeled me the villain. But this time, I wasn't looking back. Green Cell launched 2 months later. Our biodegradable power cells were featured in Wired. We landed a partnership with a Southeast Asian NGO. We hired our first team of engineers. At the launch event, I kept the speech short. This company exists because I finally stopped asking for permission. Farah smiled at me like she knew exactly what that meant. Later, I stood on a hill just outside the city, overlooking the trees and canals. Alone. Peaceful. Not happy in the loud Instagram kind of way, but still. Whole. They still talk, from what I hear. Melissa tells people I'm a sellout. Mom cries to extended relatives about her estranged son. Jason posts cryptic quotes about loyalty and betrayal, but I don't respond. I don't return calls. I don't feel responsible for their chaos anymore. I love them. Maybe I always will. But love doesn't mean servitude. And family doesn't mean ownership. For the first time, my life belongs to me. And that's enough.